Welcome back to the Cinema Cult Network. I am Chris.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Honto.
And we are starting our Black History Month by covering all Black superhero movies. We've covered a few on the podcast so far over the years.
Black Panther.
Hancock.
Hancock.
Yeah.
I think there might have been one or two more in that area. But we have rounded up a couple movies for this year, or for this month, when we started off with Blankman from 1994, a movie we have all seen, but I think it's been like years,
It's been since
right?
my youth.
Videotape days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
has to be. Or actually, I might even be like HBO days from like
Mm-hmm.
when they would play on cable all the time or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I remember watching the hell out of this movie back in the 90s, though.
Yeah.
I remembered a lot of stuff from it.
Same. But going into this, like, not to spoil anything, but like, I was like, man, is this gonna hold up, or is it gonna be like one of those like, stupid movies that were like, oh yeah, this is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Because we'll get right into it. I know you guys already know it, but for Rotten Tomatoes score for this movie, I know you guys saw it when I put the movie on last night.
Yeah, we all watched this together.
So I'll give the listeners a second to think about it, and I will tell them it is 13% on Rotten Tomatoes. I did not expect to see
I think I
that.
was telling you guys last night, but back in the days of cable television when you could see the stars,
Yeah.
the star rating for movies, I always remember having like a 1 or 1.5.
Really?
Yeah.
They used to do that at 4, right? I think it was out of 4.
Out of 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
9. It was out of 9.
One out of 9 stars.
Out of 7 stars.
1 out of 27. That is weird to think about. I think we probably talked about it on this podcast before, but when you would have like the scrolling guide of what was on TV.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to wait like 15
Yeah.
minutes to get back to your channel.
And it would always like bounce it up. Like once it like went through a bunch of them, like the whole screen would like adjust.
It's like a polite, like, oh, did you miss this?
Yeah.
Let's go back a little bit.
Yeah. And it would have like a star rating. And like thinking about it now, like whose star rating was that, like when you actually think about it.
It's the same thing. Matt and I were talking about this, but like the Netflix Nielsen ratings, it's their
Yeah.
own rating
Yeah.
system for.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like, what are the ratings on streaming sometimes? Are those is the rating...
like the thumbs up, dislike, or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
is it rating based on like, hey, this is how much you're gonna like this, or this is how much people like this?
Well, on
because you can't
Netflix-
rate stuff.
Are you talking about on
right?
Netflix?
Yeah, you can't rate
Netflix
stuff
will
on
tell you, it will give you like, there's a 96% chance you might like this. Because
Yeah.
you
Right?
watch-
Okay.
It'll tell you.
So
Okay,
there's still
that's
that,
what it is.
There's still that 4% chance that I will not like it. And it's
It's good odds. It's good odds, though. Let's talk about the budget for Blankman. How much do you think this cost to make? Matt, start off with you. Go.
10 million.
All right, Honto.
15 million.
This movie cost $30 million to
$30 million.
make.
Wow.
And $94. So that's
Wow.
probably even like 60 at this point.
It's like
Just for that explosion out of the bank.
Oh,
man.
yeah. That was probably the chunk of the budget.
in 90s. I mean, that's basically like Marvel superhero. That's
Yeah.
like $300 million movie right there.
That's insane. Yeah. Okay, so now with a $30 million budget, I do not have international numbers. I only have domestic.
Okay.
How much do you think this movie made in the U.S.? Honto, I'll start off with you.
It was 30. We'll do 55 million.
Okay. Matt, what you got?
I'm gonna do 40 million.
Okay, so the total box office for this movie, not even $8 million.
Oh man!
What?
Yeah. So I do not know if it
I-
made it back during rentals or like
I
VHS
don't-
days.
I don't know.
They made their money back through me running it from Blockbuster all the time.
Oh,
Over.
This kid rented it for $100 million.
His late fees are so high that we got our budget back.
And his brother for Halloween Resurrection. I remember walking in there. I remember my dad being like, "We have $32 in late fees for this Halloween Resurrection movie." Like,
Oh yeah, you told me
Yeah.
about
And
that.
And they're
First.
just like, Dad, I don't have a license. That's on you, man. Like,
That's like I mean not
I'm
like
10.
at all, but like I still have a rental case for Resident Evil, the video game,
yeah.
PlayStation, from like not Planet Hollywood. That's the restaurant, I think, right?
A Hollywood Video.
Hollywood Video or Blockbuster. I can't remember which one it is.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just like they probably were trying to find me.
oh, did you
Right.
get hit with late fees when those juggernauts of the rental
No.
service like fell down and died?
They're basically they're video rental bounty hunters that were
Yeah,
sent-
I got stuff for Hollywood Video, and it's like you owe $30, and I'm like,
For-
I'm not paying this. You guys are a defunct business now. I'm not
Yeah.
paying you $30. And it was like several years after they.
They're probably listening to it right now, like, we got him.
We got
Like,
we got him.
Matt, look up Matt.
Yeah, just imagine it's just like
See if Matt has any.
do me a
late
favor,
fees.
Google Matt real quick.
I just imagine it's like this washed up like bounty hunter cop or whatever who's like disheveled. He lost his family. He's like, honey, I'm going after him.
He's mine. He's the only thing I live for now.
Yeah, it's weird when you think about it. I don't know. So like Blockbuster and Hollywood Video were like the big ones.
Yeah.
There was Movie Gallery.
Movie Gallery. That's where it was. It was Movie Gallery.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
I went there a few times. I don't know if that's like a nationwide one.
I don't know.
I think those were like the three. I mean, it was Hollywood and Block were the two big ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Movie Gallery. I can't think of any.
Family Video.
Family Video,
I
which
never-
is still around.
Never went to Family Video, but
We've
one
been
of
to Family Video before. Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, yeah,
But as a
like,
kid,
yeah,
yes,
as a kid.
yeah.
But there were back in the day, Kroger in our area
Yes,
had
same.
some movie rental spots.
Yeah, Matt, do you remember
It's
that?
actually, I
yeah.
distinctly remember seeing the cover for My Bloody Valentine at
Oh, cool.
Kroger.
Yeah.
where we
I
were.
remember renting, I think it might have been Amityville Horror, It's About Time.
That movie has come up so many times in the I feel like the last.
I think it's that one, but yeah, I remember because it wasn't like a huge thing, but it was like enough movies that
Yeah.
like while mom was shopping, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go rent a video.
If we ever do a themed month of horror sequels,
Yeah.
I think we got to do It's About Time as one of the movie.
It's
picks.
got some good parts in it. It's fun. It actually
Yeah, the
stars
people been asking for it.
Hey, and we've been talking about it too.
one of the
So-
main girls, and It's About Time is the
Lori-
girl from
Lori-
PCU.
Oh,
That's also in Encino Man.
okay.
Really?
Yeah. So she's one of the main characters.
So
Is
go
it-
back to Encino Man where we probably talked about this movie.
Probably.
Oh, Amityville Horror.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was thinking of House.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
thinking of like whatever House 3 or House 4.
Okay.
Those movies are not good.
I like
Uh,
House. I think they're fun movies.
and
Back
two
to
are
the
good.
movie though.
Yeah.
Hanto, take us through the cast and crew of Blankman.
Directed by Mike Binder. The only movie I really recognize on his list is Reign Over Me with Adam Sandler and Don Cheadle.
Very cool. Okay.
Yep. And then there's actually a few people in this movie that were also in Reign Over Me as well.
Mm.
He is in this movie as well.
He is. I'm about to bring it up.
Okay.
Okay.
He's the doctor that analyzes Daryl with the Rorschach
Oh, okay.
ink blot test.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's got a little bit role in this movie.
Okay.
Starring Damon Wayans as Daryl / Blankman, the last Boy Scout. Earth girls are easy, Mo money. And then I think it's his son, Michael Wayans, plays young Daryl in the opening sequence.
Both of them. It's Michael and Damon.
Yeah, well, I was gonna bring it up for David Allen Greer.
Oh, great. You ruined the surprise. Who
Yeah.
wastes the
Oh,
good
really?
surprise on
Yeah.
you?
Oh, okay.
Uh,
No, keep going, dude. I want to keep critiquing your notes.
Yeah.
we can. Hey, we'll do this together.
and then when you go over your trivia, I'll just kind of.
I'm doing my trivia right
now. That's not good outlook for the trivia if you're interrupting me.
No, trivia. Damon Wayans is in this movie.
Yeah.
David Allen Greer. Yeah, that was my trivia as
Yeah,
well.
they were both in Living Color.
Yeah, damn it! You took my. Oh god, I can't talk about it now. David Allen
Murder.
Greer as Kevin. Is his superhero name in this Other Man?
Other guy.
Or Other Guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's Other Guy. This is pretty good.
Yeah.
Jumanji, McHale's Navy, and a movie that I've always heard but loose cannons with it is Dan Aykroyd and Gene Hackman.
Okay. I've heard the title, but
It's a buddy cop movie. Apparently, Gene Hackman's like this gruff police officer or whatever, and then he has to work with a detective who's played by Dan Aykroyd who has split personality disorder.
did not know that.
And
Okay.
I'm sure comedy ensues. I guess.
sure.
I am kind of surprised we've never touched Jumanji.
I was
on the
just going to say that.
podcast.
I swear.
Jumanji's a solid movie.
It's pretty good.
There's
Yeah.
a lot to
Yeah.
not critique like in a negative light,
but just talk
like,
about in that movie.
Yeah, because there's some really good scenes. Yeah, I'm totally with you 100%.
We got Robin Givens as Kimberly.
Hello, Kimberly.
Head of Class. I think she was in the entire series. Boomerang and Head of State with.
Is this the only movie I've seen her in? I don't think I've seen her in anything else.
I say Boomerang's I think the only thing I've ever.
Boomerang used to be on cable all the time, but I never watched it. I
Yeah.
could see scenes.
I went down the Robin Givens internet path
Rabbit
last
hole.
night,
Yeah.
rabbit hole, trying to figure out what else I've seen her in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's not much. Well, she was married to Mike Tyson,
Okay.
Oh, okay.
so there's a lot of that
Okay.
that story. So you
Yeah.
know her from that because she was really in the media. It was towards the end of the 80s, like
Yeah.
88, 89.
Okay.
And they had a really, really messy
Yeah.
divorce, and she was kind of considered like a gold digger.
Oh, really?
Even though but it's depending on who you talk to, it's not really, but kind of.
Okay.
And he was abusive to her, but
Yeah.
he punched her, I think.
Oh man.
Is but I don't know if it was ever like it was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember being pretty messy back in the
Yeah, it was
back in
real
the day.
messy divorce, and so she was in a lot of the media for that. And then but I was just trying to figure out, I was like, what else have I seen her in?
I
And
think
then I
I've
was
seen her
like,
in a lot. Yeah.
and then I saw like she's on Batwoman right now.
Yeah, Batwoman, and then she was also in Riverdale.
She was on Riverdale.
Oh,
So it's
cool.
like
Okay.
two CW shows.
Good for her. Okay.
There's
so-
that Bill Duke movie.
That Bill Duke directed.
Yeah, Bill Duke directed it.
I think we were talking about.
Danny Glover. It's called
Gone Fishing.
No, it's Harlem.
Harlem Nights.
No,
Oh, I don't. Hey, don't get upset.
I don't know.
was
You're
trying-
just saying stuff.
I am. Anything you're saying, I'm gonna
Keep buying
push.
me time. I'll look it up.
Yeah, it's
A Raisin in the Sun.
no
Harlem Nights.
I mean, I literally just looked it up, and that was like the movie that popped up.
Really?
Yeah. So
No,
you
it
weren't
wasn't,
even.
it wasn't Raisin in the Sun. I'll
Okay.
think of it.
Oh,
Okay.
Raising Arizona.
A Rage in
God damn it, guys.
Rage in Harlem.
Rage in Harlem.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, but it's a Bill Duke directed movie.
Is that,
I've
is
always
that the
wanted.
second Carrie movie? Carrie 2, Rage in Harlem.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Man, do not give this guy
Man.
any more coffee.
I've had a lot
Yeah.
of coffee. Yes.
Your brain
but
is firing so
you said-
fast. I can't even process anything because we're doing the podcast so early today.
You said the movie's really good though.
no, I want to see.
Oh,
the
you just said it's a movie.
It's a movie. She's
But yeah,
in.
she's in it. It's Forrest
Okay.
Whitaker, Danny Glover,
Okay.
Robin Givens, and Gregory Hines.
and
Man,
it's
I
directed
love
by Bill Duke.
I love Gregory Hines.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever seen Gregory Hines in a movie.
He was in that Running Scared,
You've never seen Running
Never
Scared?
saw Running Scared.
which is pretty good. And then he was also
Oh wait,
in,
I've seen History of the World Part 1.
Oh yeah,
That's the only thing I've seen him.
But he was
in,
also in that Albert Finney Wolf movie, Wolfen.
Oh,
Never
Wolfen,
saw
dude.
it.
Wolfen's good.
Is
Never
it pretty
saw it.
good?
Yeah,
I remember
Wolfen's
seeing
a
a couple.
pretty-
Yeah,
It's like a very grounded werewolf movie, but
it's like
pretty
you're not
awesome.
sure if it's like a wolf killing or if it's like a wild wolf or
Okay.
whatever, or if it's like actually legitimate like a wolf, werewolf, whatever.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's on my to read book list this year.
Yeah, but
Okay, cool.
Albert
Okay.
Finney is the guy that's in. I think he's in Big Fish. He's the dad.
Yes. Okay.
He's like the main investigator, and I think Gregory Hines is his partner in that movie.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Very
But
cool.
yeah, I'm gonna say this. Did anybody else fall in love with Robin Givens in this?
it's pretty good.
she's very charming.
She is very charming.
Yeah.
She's very pretty.
Yeah,
And like
sounds like Matt was a little.
yeah, I was like, but no, she's very. I mean, she's gorgeous, but her voice too and everything. I was like, man, I was like, why? But that's why I went down that rabbit hole. I was like,
Right?
what the hell? I was like, how come I
Where
not
is
have
she-
seen her
where is
in
she at?
more?
Where
I
is
was
she?
waiting for Han to list like 4 movies that I'd seen her in. And
Yeah.
I haven't.
And
Yeah.
it's like, I wonder if it was one of those things where she kind of got blacklisted from Hollywood because of all the. I was thinking it was the messy stuff with the Mike Tyson
Yeah.
divorce,
Yeah.
but all these movies are like 5 to 6 years after the divorce,
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
weird.
which is even stranger.
Like heavy hitter in the late 80s, early 90s, disappears for a little bit, does some stuff here and there, and then is popping back up in some modern.
yeah, I want to say like I saw her on like she was on Fresh Prince.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's where I've also seen. her.
yeah.
Do you remember what? I just
I
watched
couldn't-
the series.
No, I saw that on
cannot-
there and I was like, oh yeah, I think I've seen her on that.
Really?
And then
Okay.
she was on Cosby Show back in the 80s.
Yeah. That
But
like
yeah,
an
I was like,
episode.
why haven't we seen her in more? I mean, she's very,
Yeah.
very charming. She's very, very pretty. She's very, very pretty. But like, and she seems like a really good actress. So it's like, yeah. I
Oh,
mean,
she's in that new Kimmy movie with Zoe Kravitz, the new Steven Soderbergh.
yes.
On
Oh,
Netflix.
cool.
That was weird too because I was on Letterboxd and I was going through stuff and Kimmy's like #1 this week. 'cause
Okay.
it just got dropped in
Yeah,
HBO.
a lot of people have been like talking about that movie.
I think it popped in my head. I just kind of watched the series. I think Robin Givens on Fresh Prince is the character that Will kind of cheats on Lisa
I
with.
think it might be. Yeah,
Uh,
that sounds familiar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and she's like very seductive,
Denise.
and I don't know if he actually does cheat on her, but I feel like there was like that tension between.
Oh,
I
okay.
think so. I think
I
so.
have to go back and
Will-
watch it because like when I watched Fresh Prince, I watched it when it was like the hour of Fresh Prince, and they just kind of threw them on back to back, and
Yeah.
there was no consistent story. It was just kind of
Yeah.
episodes.
Season 5, episode 23.
Okay.
Cold Feet, Hot Body.
Nice.
Will meets a new student at the university who seems determined to be Will's girlfriend,
Yes.
despite the fact that he's engaged.
Nailed it.
Wow.
So yeah, so we just watched this the
Good job
entire
on both
series,
your guys' parts.
and then we watched that reunion too. They had on HBO.
Oh, I never watched that.
It was awesome. It was like tugging at the heart. Like they had this whole tribute to like Uncle Phil.
Yeah, I remember.
And everybody was crying. And then they had to sit down with Will and the original Aunt Viv.
Oh.
And they talked about why everything went down the way it did. And he's like, what happened? She's like, no, you tell me. And like they had like a full conversation. It's really good.
Wow.
So I definitely recommend it. But yeah, Robin Givens.
Wow. That's interesting.
Wow.
Christopher Lawford as the mayor. I actually remember him from All My Children because when my grandma from the Philippines used to come to visit us,
Okay.
she would just watch soap operas nonstop all day around.
Really?
And I remember tuning in on All My Children because I think my mom also used to watch it. But I remember this guy from that show.
Okay.
I always like just even from
Really?
Blankman, it's like, oh, it's like
Yeah.
that from that soap
Okay.
opera.
He's good in this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I actually like him.
I
For some
think-
reason, I thought he was corrupt in this movie.
Okay.
So it was like kind of cool to like,
Yeah.
even in his little last moments, which we'll get to,
Yeah.
it's kind of awesome.
You know, he's good in it because I buy him as a politician.
Mhm.
And then you buy him as a like decent person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he does really good in this. I like this character.
He was also in Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. He's
Okay.
like the that girl, Claire Danes' dad in that movie.
Okay,
He's like the
okay.
general. He's like working with him
Yeah.
at some point. And then Tales from the Crypt, The Switch, Season 2, Episode 2,
Arnold Schwarzenegger one.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where I've seen him from.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then we got Joe Polito as Michael the Suit Manelli.
That's probably why he was in Terminator 3 then.
It could be.
It's possible.
Yeah. I think or, you
yeah.
know, just maybe
Strange coincidence.
running
or just
same
yeah,
muscle, you know, whatever.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Joe Polito as Michael the Suit Manelli. I love this guy in whatever he's in.
Yeah.
He always pops up.
It's
He's-
all part of the show.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
always got the same. The voice is like very distinct.
Yeah. Yeah.
but
yeah,
he's in
good
the-
character actor.
We just watched him in The Crow. He's in
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Miller's Crossing, Coen Brothers movie. He's
Okay.
also in Highlander. I think he's like one of the
Really?
detectives.
We just
Uh,
watched him in Rocketeer a couple months ago.
Oh yeah, he is in Rocketeer.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got that very distinct voice, and I think he just sadly just passed away like in 2016.
Oh, really? Okay.
but
Oh, really?
yeah,
Yeah, he's good in this too.
yeah, he's awesome. Then we got Jason Alexander as Mr. Stone. He's
Yep.
the Hardline. Was it Hardline edition or Hardline?
Hard Edge edition or
Hard- yeah,
hard,
something
it's
like that.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Seinfeld. His first movie I think was The Burning, the horror movie.
Yeah.
He's also in Pretty Woman and Dunstan Checks In.
Didn't we do Burning?
No, we never talked about Burning.
no,
Oh,
we
you know what? I
talked
watched
about
it
it a
in
lot.
preparation because we were doing like a slasher month.
Oh, we did
Yeah.
our top 5 slasher
yeah.
movies.
And Matt
yeah.
was like, you got to watch The Burning. And then,
Yeah. And yeah, I feel
yeah.
like you still did. Like you still have to watch. Like I'm glad you watched it because it's
Yeah.
just like such a.
It
It's
wasn't
okay
for me. It wasn't for
It's
me.
okay. It's not like the best slasher.
I liked it the
Um,
first time I rewatched it because I think one of you guys picked up the Blu-ray
Yeah.
for me. It didn't really hold up as well the
Yeah,
second
no,
time.
Yeah, I've seen it a couple times now.
But another movie you guys should check out in place of that is
Dunstan checks in.
Madman,
Oh.
Man.
which
Oh,
is
man.
based on the
Yes.
same. There's a whole history between The Burning and
Okay.
Madman because of Cropsy or
Yeah,
Cropsy.
Cropsy.
Cropsy. Madman was originally going to be about Cropsy, but they realized that this other studio was doing a movie about Cropsy, so they just decided to change it to Madman Mars as
Interesting.
the slasher legend or
Okay.
whatever.
I'll
Madman-
watch that with you.
Madman
I want to
candy
watch
bars.
it. So
Yeah, movie is not really. I mean, it's pretty stupid. But I love it.
I've tried to watch this movie 3 times.
Seriously, I'll
now.
just watch it whenever.
It's not the best.
It's not the
All right.
best.
And
I
there's
just
things.
watch it.
It's weird. There's things in that movie that annoy me. It's like sounds or something like that just annoy me in that movie. Like him singing the song in the beginning.
Oh
it just
yeah,
it annoys me, and it just
where he's like creeping around the campfire.
yeah, it bothers me, and
For whatever reason, like it's like the same formula as any of your Friday the 13th,
yeah.
but I can watch that more than any of those movies.
And that's what
combined.
I feel like is weird because I could watch the Friday 13th any day, put any of them on, most
Yeah.
of them.
except one.
One's boring.
But then like you guys were like, check out the Prowler. Did not like the Prowler very much.
Prowler's dope.
Oh, I love. Yeah, I
some
like
of the,
yeah.
some of the
Prowler.
special effects
Yeah.
are insane.
Yeah,
in
so
that
like,
movie.
it's weird. Like we all like the same type of movie,
Yeah.
but it's weird we don't like the same movies.
Yeah. We have Lynne Thickpen as Grandma.
Okay.
We've seen her in The Warriors. She's the DJ.
And what?
Oh shit! Is she really?
The Warriors.
Oh wow, wow,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Hey, y'all boppers. You know,
We need to do that movie on the podcast.
That
I haven't
movie-
seen that in years.
that movie
rules
is-
a lot.
It actually, it's about to get a Blu-ray release, and I'm gonna have
Hopefully
to snag.
not
I
with
think,
the comic book transitions.
It's got both. It's got
I
the
hate that.
director's cut and the original.
Okay.
And the director's cut, I remember buying the director's cut and I was pissed because of that comic book transition thing.
Yeah, that's just.
It's like it's
ruins.
real weird. I don't know if you watched it that way, Chris.
I haven't seen it in probably 15 years. I don't remember.
It's like there's comic book transitions in there, scene to scene, as if it's like Creep Show.
Yeah.
And it's like, why did they add that in?
So like
there?
be like freeze frame and then go to like another panel.
it's like Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah.
And
I
he's
can
like,
hold my breath a long, long time.
I can warrior for a long time.
Can you dig it?
I can dig it for a long time. Speaking of, because I think that'd be a good cult month, like Warrior, like.
Oh, dude, that movie's so cool.
It's
But I was
really
gonna
cool.
say Heavy Metal would have been a good cult movie. But did you see that 3-disc Blu-ray they're releasing?
yeah, I'm so pissed. I just bought my Blu-ray and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I wish I would have.
I'll tell you what, maybe I'll buy that off you, and then if you want to get that new one,
I might.
because I think I have rewatch value in the future for that.
Yeah, I want to see it cleaned up. It's
Yeah.
very messy when we went to watch it for the podcast.
Yeah.
Which one?
That-
Oh, Heavy Metal.
Heavy Metal.
Yeah.
It's such a like dirty looking movie. Like
Yeah.
it needs a good transition.
I don't know why I've thought about it a few times since. I'm like, I could watch that again.
I'd
Yeah.
probably give it another try. And speaking
Yeah.
of, I was packing up some records, and I actually have the soundtrack for Heavy Metal.
Do you?
I think it's like the various maybe the various artists.
The various art. It's
yeah.
her on
Yeah.
front writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dragon.
Oh, speaking of R.I.P. Ivan Reitman.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we
Yeah.
need to talk
Yeah.
about that for a second.
Yeah.
We just got done covering several Ivan Reitman movies this year.
a lot.
Yeah.
Kindergarten Cop, Ghostbusters 1, 2.
And then he was technically in Afterlife.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But-
so we definitely covered a lot. I'm
What a
sure,
bummer, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Um,
he got to see though that Afterlife came out and
Mhm.
he got to see like that be a success. And
Dude, this is a just weird coincidence. He passed away a day after Afterlife was done in the theaters, which I feel like
Oh,
is so
wow.
weird.
oh wow,
Like the week it got
Wow.
pulled, then he passed away.
I didn't know that. That's
But his son posted,
Jason Reitman.
Jason posted, and he was like, "I lost my hero," and I was like, "Oh man," I was like, "That's heart wrenching."
sucks.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
So-
That stinks. But yeah, she was also in another Walter Hill, Streets of Fire. She pops up in Anger Management with Adam Sandler and
Okay.
Jack Nicholson. But we probably all know her. At least I do. She's the chief in Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego?
Oh, was she really?
The game show.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I had one other person. His name is John Moschitta Jr. as Mr. Crud. I don't remember this character.
Crud. Which one was Mr. Crud? Oh, the guy who when they talk for like 30 minutes when the fly thing's going around, he's like, "What are you doing?"
Oh, that's him.
Yeah.
Okay, I read trivia about this last night too, and I couldn't figure out who that was.
He's the world's fastest talking man.
Micro Machines guy?
Yeah, that's him.
No way.
Yeah, he's got lots of commercials about Micro Machines.
That's-
I think the
That's
stat was like
insane.
500 some words in a minute.
586 words per minute.
That's crazy.
yeah.
He's actually only previous episode, Dick Tracy. He's in, I think he's like a radio announcer.
Oh, really?
In that movie.
I'm trying to beat his record on this podcast with all the coffee.
Apparently, yeah.
I'm actually going the opposite. I'm doing the less words said in a minute.
Oh, okay.
That's usual. One word
Okay.
a minute.
Yeah, one word a minute. This guy's the
Um,
slowest speaker.
Yeah, but I actually remember he did a segment where they're interviewing him, and he sang the entire duration of Michael Jackson's "Bad" like in less than a minute.
That's insane.
Dude, I can't even remember stuff like that. If somebody was like, can you imagine like remembering things that you could like spit out that quickly? Like I couldn't even spit out my phone number that fast.
No,
like,
no.
I'd start to like pause to think about it. Like,
Or like spelling my like last name. It's like I think that's how it's spelled.
yeah. There's a Z there now.
Dude, speaking of slow-mo, this is off topic, but I'm question. Have you heard of this show? It came out like 2 years ago on Netflix called We Can Be Heroes.
Sounds familiar.
Okay, so it is a movie adaptation. It's a sequel to Shark Boy and Lava Girl that came out on Netflix last year.
Okay.
And it stars Christian Slater
Wow.
and it stars Mandalorian.
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah,
Or?
and then it stars a couple other people, but they're like all big names, and it's a kids movie, and it's Shark Boy and Lava. They're like grown up.
Yeah. Interesting.
I watched a good chunk of it the other day, and I was
I've never seen that movie before.
yeah, it was like 2019, 2020, I think.
Okay. Okay.
So, but yeah, You said slow mo. There's a character called.
Oh.
That's right.
Yeah, I was like,
Wow,
where are
sorry.
you going with
The
this?
connection was there's a character.
I thought we were doing a paid sponsorship right there.
My
I was
bad.
like, are we
Well,
promoting
no, the
this?
reason I asked is because there's a character in there, and his superpower is slow motion.
Oh,
So every time they do something, he's called slow mo and everything. in slow
Gotcha,
mo.
gotcha.
Wow.
I was like, oh my god, please save this. What was he talking about?
Dude,
right
I
now?
had an out of body experience. I watched myself and I was like, where are you going with this? Wrap it up.
Oh my god.
Good job. You're killing it. Keep
Keep
talking
going.
about it.
Tell them more.
Now mention why you're talking about it.
Bring it home. Tie it together.
Summarize that thesis point.
Kick them out of your house.
They don't like you.
Get out. Only I like you.
They're judging you. Snap at them now. Is that for cast and crew?
That's it. Yeah.
All right. Let's go and talk about Blankman. It is very, the first like 10 minutes, whatever, very charming because it's David Allen Grier and Damon Wayans' kids because they're brothers. And they're watching the original Batman TV series and they're totally into it. They're like flushing the toilet so they can get good reception. It overflows. Like this whole opening scene is cool.
Yeah.
I think this feels like a total brother moment.
Yeah.
Yes, I really like the brother dynamic that's going on in the movie. And it might be because like both of them have worked so closely in the past.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because it's very weird because like I always consider like David Allen Grier like the other Wayans brother that like
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean? Because he's always like popping up around them and but yeah, they work so well and there's so many like great like I mean, we like Chris is my brother, but you're a brother as well.
Yeah.
You're our David Allen Grier.
Yeah, you're like our
okay.
David Allen Grier. But like, no, you have your brother, right? So
Yeah.
it's like they're like we can like
Riff off each other.
yeah,
and-
we can connect where it's like, oh yeah, that's how brothers really do act.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they
No, you're
do like
100%.
fight 1 minute and then like are friends the next minute.
Yeah.
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 But I'll tell you, even what, like, so they grow up and I don't even know if Damon Wayans has a job. Oh, no, he does. He works at the shop.
The
Yeah.
invention or whatever.
Yeah. And then David Allen Grier works as a cameraman for like a news
Hard
station.
edition or
Yeah.
something like that.
But I was going to say with the David Allen Grier character, he plays a good serious role, a serious
Yeah.
character to Damon Wayans' like goofball
Yes.
character.
Yeah.
You know
Yes.
what? Like watching it this time, I haven't seen it since I was a kid.
Yeah.
But watching a lot of Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis movies, and I was like, this is a Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis movie.
It kind of is,
like an
yeah.
Abbott Costello type.
Well, I mean, like I feel almost like it's like, yeah, there's a straight man and it's David Allen Grier,
Yeah.
but he's still funny.
Yeah.
But like Damon Wayans really plays like that Jerry Lewis, like
like-
nerdy, lanky,
Like the Nutty Professor.
yeah,
like,
kind of
really.
a goofy guy. Like you need to see Artists and Models.
I need to check it out.
we got to watch it together.
It is
Yeah.
it holds up. It's like one of my like probably my top 5 comedy movies of all time.
Wow.
It's still really funny.
Yeah.
And like, but it's just like this. It's where
Okay.
it's like Jerry Lewis is just like kind of awkward, just the way
Slapstick.
Damon Wayans is.
Yeah.
And then Dean Martin's very much a straight man giving Jerry Lewis shit all the time.
Okay.
Like the way David Allen Grier is like, hey, grow up. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, like,
Immature.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
grow
still
up.
there, like
Yeah.
with within the story with them.
No, you're 100% right. I would totally
Um,
compare it to that.
Watching it, I mean, for me, watching it this time, it's cool seeing David Allen Grier as, straight man. Like, you see him in Living Color and he's like a slapstick comedy or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But man, he's doing some legit like fighting and action
Yes.
in this. And it's
Right?
kind of awesome.
Oh yeah, some of those high kicks. where you're like, oh,
he's
that's him.
He's doing like spinning roundhouse kicks and it's
Yeah.
like, that's awesome.
Yeah. Because you could tell like what they would do is like wide shots. And I'm like, all right, cut to the double. And I'm like, no, that's
Yeah,
David
it looks,
Allen
like,
Grier.
it looks like him.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool that they kind of made him the like the good fighter.
Yeah. I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it makes
I think
sense
it's
to have
really
that
cool.
guy.
What I don't understand about this movie is why Damon Wayans Jr. would not make his suit bulletproof.
It's still funny to me.
I don't understand it. I feel like Damon Wayans Jr. plans out everything and then he doesn't make his bulletproof. That doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense to me. But if that's one of my few quips with this movie.
Yeah.
So basically, Damon Wayans, he kind of like, what's the word? Like he strives for more.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they live in kind of a rough neighborhood. And what ends up happening is their grandmother gets murdered one night as she's working for the campaign. I think he's going for mayor. Is that
Mayor.
correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goldie Wilson.
Yeah. Marigold Wilson.
But she gets murdered when this like mafia guy who's trying to run the city.
Yeah, he
Joe
basically
Polito, or not Joe
yeah.
Polito. What's his name?
yeah, Joe Polito, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, Joe Polito is.
You're thinking Joe Pagliano.
No, I was thinking Joe Polito is from Day of the Dead.
No, I know what you're saying.
Oh.
It is Joe Polito in here, but yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I know who you're talking about
Similar.
as
Who
well.
am I talking about from Day of the Dead?
I don't know. I know what
It's
you're saying.
Polito,
yeah.
right?
One
Like
second.
I'm not going crazy.
Matt had some coffee
But
as
yeah,
well.
Joe Polito is like I think he's a mob boss. They never really say what he is.
It's like
Not
it's
really.
the vague, like in the 80s, they always had the vague drug trade.
yeah.
They don't know, you don't know what they're dealing, but they're just drug dealers. It's
Yeah.
the same thing where it's like vague mafia. You don't know what part of the mafia he's in or whatever, or if he's like an enforcer or what, but you just know that he's a mob
He's
boss.
the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joseph Pilato.
Plata. Wow, it's
Yeah, very
super
similar.
close.
Yeah.
Super
But yeah,
close.
Joe
yeah.
Polito is in this movie.
But no, she one night she's working for the campaign and she gets murdered. And this is when like Blankman kind of is like, all right, I got to do something about this town.
There's a heartbreaking scene in the movie, and I feel like it's like they're trying to make you laugh at
Are you talking about the funeral?
Yeah.
It's weird. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of like you kind of like at first you kind of chuckle and then you watch it and you're like, oh, he's broke.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
should have just played this as a straight moment. They
I
shouldn't
think
have
it
tried
is.
to make
I don't know
it.
if they're trying to make it.
I think they're
goofy.
trying to make it goofy.
I think they were trying to
Because
make it goofy.
In
It's
the
hard
long
to
shot,
tell.
you see like snot coming off of his
Yeah.
face and lips.
I feel
and everything.
horrible for me. Like
I
breaks
felt-
my heart.
It felt
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have just played it straight. The music is kind of the music's actually really good in this.
The soundtrack's
love,
dope, yeah.
love the soundtrack.
Yeah,
But it's,
I would-
it's
very
very straight. It's very serious. It's not, and there's a
Yeah.
couple of like somber notes in there.
Mm.
Are you
Where,
talking the
like,
score or the various artists?
score.
The score is very good. Yes.
Yeah,
I
no,
agree.
the various artists.
Very
is great,
artists is very
too.
good. I was gonna say because there's a couple songs that'll be like they'll like chant
I think they're
Blank
playing like
Man.
I think they're
to
playing
Be a
like,
superhero song.
I think they're
Yeah.
playing I think they're playing Boys II Men. In
It
this funeral
sounded like
scene.
it, but I also couldn't tell if it was a band trying to sound like
or it
Boyz II
sounded
Men.
like
But I'm
it was
also-
either Boys II Men or Casey and JoJo.
I know what Matt's. Yeah, right.
I know.
Matt's gonna say.
What am I
Lethal-
going to say?
Lethal Weapon.
Yes, Lethal Weapon 3.
They play
Uh,
Boys II Men at the funeral scene.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Previous
So-
episode. Wow.
But I think Lethal Weapon 4 when Joe Pesci's frog dies.
Oh, man.
They
Man. He loves that scene. He quotes at least once a week.
they play Casey JoJo. So
Oh,
yes.
they do.
Yeah,
Wow.
when his
Yeah,
frog dies. They
Casey and
have-
JoJo
yeah.
were pretty popular back in
Yeah.
that time.
Save the Last Dance.
Yeah.
That was their big song.
Yeah.
Yeah. But go ahead. What were you got? You were pulling up something?
No, I was just thinking it was just.
Oh,
looking
I
at
thought you were
Joseph
looking up.
Pilato.
I thought you were looking at the Boys, the Men. If they
Oh
were doing
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
Just keep going. I'll bring it up.
So yeah, he kind of strives for more, and he's really good at inventions. So he ends up making like this is actually by accident. He makes a bulletproof costume.
Yeah,
And then he gets like a crime fighter belt, and he has like all these really cool inventions.
because I think he figures it out because he accidentally tosses the lab coat onto a flame and realizes it's like
after there's like
Yeah, it's
liquids
not
on it,
burning.
which is a pretty
Yeah.
cool effect. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I
how-
think it's really cool the way this happens. But up until this point, before now that he's like the superhero and he's trying, I think it might be around this scene is that Damon Wayans, David Allen Grier are fighting, and David Allen Grier chases Damon Wayans into the bathroom.
Yes.
yeah.
and he does like this high pitched scream when he gets in the bathroom. And Matt called it out too, because like this is how we used to fight. But like that's such a brother moment, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
there.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
That happened multiple times with my brother.
Yeah,
There's brother fighting techniques. I was like terrified that I would bring into my adult life if I ever got into a real fight. And one of them is running to the nearest door and using that door as a barrier.
Yes. Yes.
And like I
yes.
was like, man, what if I did this in real life? And then the other one is like when your brother goes to punch you, you use your back as like a shield. So you give him your back.
Yeah, you absorb the pain.
Yeah,
and-
so your
and
back takes
project
all the
it.
pain. And I imagine doing this in a bar fight. And somebody's just, and I'm like basically like turtling, and somebody just keeps hitting my back. And I'm like, it's working.
It's kind of like the Black Panther, so you're just absorbing it. And then you
yeah, I'm just absorbing
yeah.
the pain. And then,
you kind of do like what Damon Wayans did in this when the grandma asks David Allen Grier, like, wear the belt for him. And he's like, it's okay, you don't have to. And he like he puts his head up against the wall.
what does the grandma say to David Allen Grier to get him to wear the belt?
I don't know.
Because they go into that room for a minute.
Where you're kicked out of this apartment.
I think that's what she basically
Okay.
threatens him with. Dude,
Yeah.
I love, okay, we got to bring this up.
Yeah,
but
go
it's
for it.
First, like 2 minutes in the movie, it's the best line in the whole movie is David Allen Grier sneaking a girl out from the apartment
Yeah.
that he lives in with his grandma and Damon Wayans. And he sneaks her out, and the grandma comes out, and he pretends like nobody was ever there. And she's like, yeah, you kept me up all night. She's like, I'm glad you're quick.
Yeah.
It's like the best like cut.
Dude, I like the way he actually walks out of the bedroom and he starts like yawning. He's
He's
like,
like,
"Hey,
"Oh."
grandma."
Yeah.
So I think going back, that song was not even Boyz II Men. I think it was
I
by
didn't think so.
an artist named Silk. The song is called
Silk the Shocker?
No, Silk, and the song's "Cry On." But yeah,
Okay.
no mention of
Yeah,
Boyz II Men.
I didn't think it was Boyz II Men, but it sounded similar.
It feels like it was like we need a Lethal Weapon 3 funeral scene.
Even though actually Lethal
like,
Weapon
what
3
can we
might
get?
Lethal
Yeah.
Weapon 3 might be the same year.
Yeah.
Lethal Weapon 3 might be 94, 93, 94.
Oh, really?
That'd
Yeah.
be
Or maybe it's even kind of like quote unquote like maybe mocking it. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, because it's like
Or
we need
mimicking it, yeah.
an acapella
Yeah.
like R&B group that we can
Yeah.
put on this funeral scene.
Surprisingly, Lethal Weapon 3 is 92.
Yeah.
So,
So okay, so
So
we got
yeah,
a good.
it looks like it could be making
It's
fun
possible.
of it.
So we got Robin Givens, who we meet at this point too. She works at the same news station as David Allen Grier.
she works on the higher levels, and he works on the basement
Yeah.
3.
He does like the trashy stuff. She does like the hard hitting news. But basically going throughout this movie, there's just a lot of like superhero elements. You got the Damon Wayans fighting the pimp,
Yeah. Slap me around and call me Susan.
which held up so much better than I remembered. This whole movie made me so nervous because like, oh man, what if it was just like when you were 10, you laughed at it
Yeah.
and it's really bad.
Yeah, because the high pitched squeals that he makes.
Does
No,
he
yeah.
does he actually say does the guy actually call him Susan?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's like,
like-
I told you, Susan.
That's so good.
We have that scene, and then we also have the scene where there's a baby trapped in an elevator, or
Yeah.
a woman's in an elevator giving
Pregnant.
birth.
Yeah.
And this might be my favorite scene of the movie because she's giving birth, and she goes to grab David Allen Greer's hand, but she grabs his genitalia,
Yeah.
and so he starts screaming while she's screaming. And then Damon Wayans is so nervous to see a vagina,
Yeah.
he starts screaming.
Yeah.
This guy,
So
it's
all three
ugly.
of them, he's like, it's so ugly.
It's so but isn't she's like you got a huge finger, and he's like, thank you.
But the way the camera zooms in on all three faces screaming,
it's perfectly
it's my favorite part of the moment.
Yeah,
or movie.
it's even better when the baby like comes out and he's like, I'm a dad.
Yeah.
Dad.
You know, he's like, I'm a father.
Oh yeah,
What?
I made a note here because after they get them out of the elevator, Damon Wayans is going up on the plunger grappling
Yeah,
hook,
yeah.
and he's like slowly lifting up. His face is so serious.
It is.
Yeah.
But I think they're parodying a
Penguin.
yeah,
Yes.
Batman Returns here
Yes,
because they saves the
are.
baby. The clown takes the baby. And he hides up
Yes.
from the
Yeah,
sewer
and
or
then
whatever.
the light of the photo or the camera hits him, and he kind of like shields his face,
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like, yeah. I always thought that, yeah.
It's the
so-
music too.
It's
Yeah.
so serious.
So you got that scene, and then I guess we probably cut to the scene where like Blankman's kind of established himself.
Yeah.
He's like taking care of this
It's
city.
like your montage of like, I mean, they do this like same thing in like RoboCop where it's just him,
yeah.
and it's like the store is protected by Blankman or whatever. You know?
Yeah. And I think at this point, since he's kind of well known, they invite him to like the opening ceremony of this new bank that's in town.
Mhm.
And I think this is done really well. Even though this is a comedy film, there's some really good like action work in this.
It plays it straight.
Yeah.
I was like watching it at times and I'm like, oh, is this like a parody? Is it like Naked? It's at times it feels like Naked Gun.
Yeah.
And then at times it's like, no, it's like a straight movie. It's
Yeah.
a straight movie. He's just kind of a goofy character in the
Yeah.
movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's cool the way this is done because the candidate is running for mayor. It's like, all right, let's go inside and get your money. And everybody's like cheering, they're excited. And as he walks into the bank, like 10 of the bad guys that happen to be mixed in the crowd come up first, lock the bank door,
Yeah.
and then the mayor-elect is like, oh, what's going on? And they take the bank
I think
hostage.
at this point he actually becomes the mayor.
Does he?
He's
Okay.
already won by a landslide victory. Basically.
Oh, you're right. Okay, yes. I'm
But
sorry.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
basically he refused the bribe from Minnelli, and now they're basically
Mhm.
taking him out.
And Damon Wayans comes inside and he tries to stop everything from happening, but it's too late because the mayor, which this looks really cool visually, the mayor is like completely strapped with like
Yeah,
explosives
C4,
to the
yeah.
safe. It's like a good, I wouldn't say it looks good, but like the cinematography looks really good right here.
Yeah.
And he's able to get the disarm the bombs that are on him.
Uh huh.
But then we find out there's another bag of
Yeah. They should just
bomb.
toss this bag in that hole that they escaped through.
It was closed off.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, there's an angle where David Allen
Oh.
Grier walks in and he looks down into the hole, and there's like you can see it's like closed off.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's because when he rose from the hole.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
But he exits the same way.
oh, does he?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
so
how else do
maybe-
they get out of the bank?
Yeah.
All the
Okay.
bad guys.
This movie kind of feels like, I guess like a later movie back in like 99 or 98, Mystery Men.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
feel like
yeah.
I feel like at times Mystery Men tries to do stuff that they do in this movie, but kind of fails
Okay.
miserably because there's a similar scene with Greg Kinnear, who coincidentally is in Blankman
Oh,
as
yeah.
well.
Oh, this is
yeah.
his first movie too.
Oh, it is.
I guess so.
Yeah, because
That's
for
what
some
I'm
reason I
reading.
thought there was a Greg Kinnear show or whatever.
Talk soup.
Oh,
There was. Yeah, he was on
Yeah.
Talk Soup after
Yeah, but
this.
yeah, he's just literally just
Or
talk
he-
show personality.
Yeah.
or whatever.
No, I guess Talk Soup would have been around this time, right?
Early 90s.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it was Craig Benson is like the next
Jim
guy. Or
Jim Henson.
Jim Benson.
No, Jim. Is it Jim? Not Jim Henson. That's
That's the puppet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jim.
I Talk
His
Soup
last
host,
name is
man.
his last.
I-
We've done this before. His last name
Yeah.
is Henson now.
Oh, is it?
But yeah, because then after that was House Sparks,
Yeah.
Yep. And,
and
then,
then what's her name? I can't think of it.
John Henson is his name.
John Henson. Yes.
Yeah.
And then the girl, I cannot remember. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep,
Yes.
yep.
Because
Yeah.
she was on.
She's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, she's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Talk Soup trivia.
Aisha Taylor. Or
Aisha Taylor,
Tyler.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Wow, where did we get off on that tangent? Why you
I was just saying,
Greg
like,
Kinnear.
I was saying Mystery Men, they do something similar where
Yes,
they kill
yeah.
off, like, the Greg Kinnear character, or whatever,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like the serious moment.
But he's
they
like
never,
a dick.
Yeah, and that's like you never feel
Mhm.
whatever, but at least in this scene, it's a serious moment for like it's comedy, and he's
Yeah.
like reveals his mask when he tells him to leave. He's like, "My grandma worked for you; she believed in you." And he's like,
I'll give her your love. And I'm like, what a good line.
"Yeah," I was like,
yeah.
"That's pretty awesome."
Yeah, this whole scene is awesome. And
Yeah.
it's weird how well they're able to do, like, that's like a heartbreaking moment where I'm kind of like, I felt it. Like, it was, I don't know, it's a really cool
Yeah.
moment. And then they run out of the bank, and this explosion is phenomenal.
Yeah,
Dude,
Yeah.
back in the day, man, when they used stunt doubles and real explosives.
Yeah.
I'm more inclined to watch movies that are clearly stunt doubles with real explosions than your
Sure.
CGI explosions and just fake looking
yeah, there's
character
like
models.
there's a weight to it where you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You know? There's one explosion. I think it's like considered the biggest explosion in the movie.
Spectre.
Is Spectre.
Yeah, we covered that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's kind of like okay.
yeah, they're just
Yeah.
watching calmly
Yeah, and it's like real far out in the
Yeah.
distance, and you're
when
like,
they should be like getting rocked and flying backwards from the sonic boom
Yeah,
of the
like-
explosion.
where like the back of their t-shirt's gone, like their ass cheeks are hanging
The
out,
heat.
like they're just walking away. Like,
I feel like they do that in that John Lovitz movie High School High, where like it reveals the back and it's just ass is just hanging out. Whatever.
I feel like that movie's been referenced like a million times.
It
Yeah.
probably is.
But at this point, Robin Givens and Blankman kind of have a relationship.
Yeah, they kind of do a Superman the movie
Oh, yeah, they do. Yeah.
where she wants an interview with this famous blank man.
So David Allen Grier sets it up,
Yeah,
and then they go to like his underground subway
The blank
headquarters. Yeah.
oh, I love
Um,
this.
the
And, like,
train scene of them.
Yeah, and he just keeps stopping it as the train's
What?
behind him.
I can't hear you.
Let me stop it real quick.
I'll tell you what, there's a lot of moments in this movie that just work.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they either like look good or they're charming or they're funny or it plays the serious role really good. So then it's not like I'm watching like a slapstick movie. Like I'm invested in these characters.
Yeah.
So after this bank thing happens, they kind of blame Blankman for not like doing more to save the mayor.
Well, it's like the police are
Yes,
like
the police blame.
Yeah, we told him. Yeah, we
Yeah.
told him not to go in, and he did. So it's his fault.
Well, yeah, because they send him in and then like go in there and help him. And it's like, okay, like cool, we'll stay out here. And then after that, like they totally like
Yeah.
turn their backs on him. But Damon Wayans says, you know what? I'm done. He's like, I'm not gonna fight crime anymore. I'm gonna get a job at McDonald's. And dude, this scene killed me the way he talks.
Oh, hamburger.
Yeah, just everything he's like going through. He's like, would you like a side of fries with that? And then like
Yeah.
he just like keeps going. But then Robin Givens ends up getting taken hostage along with Jason Alexander's character.
Yep.
Mhm.
And so David Allen Grier comes to get Damon Wayans to be like, hey, you need to put this back on. Damon Wayans doesn't want to do it at all.
Yeah.
He doesn't think he's fit for it. But then we find out that this bad guy killed Grandma. So he's like, all right, let's go take care of it.
Yep.
So for the first time,
They
Damon,
find out very quickly who's who, which I feel like is kind of cool because it's like they realize who he is because he killed I'm sorry, Robin Givens figures out who Damon Wayans is because he makes the comment about his grandma getting killed.
Yeah.
And then they figure out that he is the guy who killed their grandma.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. And it's like without any like, I don't know, lead up or anything like that. It's not like an aha moment.
Not like
it's
a big
more
reveal.
Like it's like, okay.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah, which I'm fine with. I like.
But David Allen Grier suits up for the first time. Which I like the way both these suits look. I think they're cool looking.
I think they're pretty fun.
So they go to save
I love the
day.
kid's mask on David Allen Grier.
It's so small on his face.
Yeah.
They go to stop the bad guys. And I might be getting when they're fighting in the warehouse, that's after this, right?
That's after they fight in the news station.
They fight in the news station. They both get captured and put into this like
it's like
lottery.
It's a lottery tank.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That actually is probably my second favorite part of the movie. But they're in this tank. There's no water in it yet. And the bad guy is telling Damon Wayans everything, how they're going to kill him and everything that's going to happen. And Damon Wayans, for some reason, has his face smushed against the glass as he's talking. It kills
like you're
me.
not going to get away with this, but his face is just like...
Yeah, and his like lips are like
so
pressed
stupid.
up. It's so dumb, but it's so good.
And it's like one of those moments where it's like, you know what? This is Damon Wayans' movie.
He's
gonna
really
do whatever the hell he wants, and everyone's just gonna be like, okay.
Yeah,
like,
I love it.
This seemed like an improv moment.
Yeah. There's also another improv moment where we were talking about when it's like a...
Oh, the nunchucks?
Yeah.
Where he's trying to start him, but it won't start. And so like he revs it one more time and kind of like looks at the bad guy.
He like makes a mouth noise. He's like, I love though, like when Joe Polito's talking to him when he's in the tank here. And he's like, oh, this is great.
He's like, there's no way of getting out of this.
He's like, there's no way of getting out of this. He's like, you evil fiend.
You evil
It's
fiend.
like, and David Allen Grier's like, are you serious? Like, we're
gonna die.
Oh, and we didn't talk about this, but several parts in the movie that I still quote to this day is I'll sit there and sing to myself when I'm doing things.
Yeah.
Like he does it on several occasions where he's doing something and he'll be like, dun, 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 dun,
Oh,
dun, dun,
yeah.
dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun,
He's like, they're gonna smash me like a little bug.
like, I still do that. Like it's in my like daily vernacular.
That's awesome.
They fill the lottery tank with water, and his robot that we haven't
J5.
spoke of, J5
J5!
comes over, cuts holes into the glass, water pours out to save the day, and they
I
leave.
think this is definitely there was a couple I was thinking throughout this movie. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, no, you're good.
There's a couple of these are in the trailer moments. There's like this part with the drills and their
And the
looks
stars.
like they're peeing.
Yeah.
There's a moment when he's like, Kevin, I'm a superhero.
Yeah.
There's like that moment too. But yeah, there's a lot of like I was watching this as like, oh, trailer moments. Nice.
For sure. They end up breaking through glass, getting out. They save Robin Givens. And then doesn't Damon Wayans make a joke that he can't save her and he has to leave?
Oh,
and
yeah,
he like runs
he's
away.
just joking.
He's like, I'm just kidding. And
And
then,
Kevin leaves Jason Alexander behind because I think
yeah,
he
just
doesn't
to like mess with him
Yeah.
because he's slime.
Yeah.
So they get away.
This moment's weird. It's like it goes against David Allen Grier's character. I feel like in the movie. You know, what I'm talking about? He comes in and he like acts like the bomb's about to explode.
Like he
He's
can't
like,
do
"Sorry, we can't-"
anything.
Yeah, it's like this definitely feels like improv from David Allen Grier.
Could be. Yeah.
But if you think about it in connection, like he absolutely hates his boss.
Yeah.
So he's trying to scare him.
I think
So he's just like, I get it. I agree with what you're saying, but I also can kind of see like, I'm gonna scare my
fine
boss
with
to
it. It
death.
just feels a little out of character. For
Yeah,
me.
because
I know what
I
you're
think this is the last you ever see of Jason Alexander too. So
It is.
him,
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna get you, and he's pushing the wheel, and it's just spinning while it's in the
Well,
air.
it's in it, yeah. So they get out. They go to the warehouse where our main villains are. There's great fighting here. David Allen Grier gets shot because he thinks
He's taunting Minnelli.
Yeah.
And while he's like taunting him, Damon Wayans or Daryl basically is trying to warn him that the suit's not bulletproof, and he gets shot. And he's like, "That's what I've been trying to tell you."
he gets like a shot and he like falls off the
like
edge.
slow mo. It's like falling on different like platforms.
And then Damon Wayans like fights everybody with his electronic nunchucks.
Yeah.
and we just had like this all big out like battle.
Yeah.
And then it pretty much ends with our main villain. Is he on a gurney or what is that exactly? It's like a cart, maybe.
Yeah, it's just like a cart, but it is actually a cool shot where
It
it's
is
showing
cool.
like the camera's like on Joe Polito and it's just going through all these doors, and then it's revealed that there's a cop car or a cop truck
already open.
Yeah.
And he just flies into. It's not like goofy though. It's not like wee. Like
yeah.
it works.
Yeah.
It's a cool
Yeah,
moment.
I think this is a perfect like Batman 1960s Adam West like moment of capturing the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's basically what this is. This whole
Yeah.
movie is a giant riff off of the
Because they even do
60s
like
Batman.
the pow like
Yeah.
bubbles,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. The fight scenes.
Oh, and the Blankman, where it's a
yeah.
like,
Which I know
Blankman
Matt
comes towards the screen and
And I think
Matt-
they even do a like to the costumes or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
but when they're in that hideout, every time he's like to the blank, like it's literally like the next thing over.
oh yeah.
And then like
Yeah.
it'll cut to like the interlude, and he's like now to the suit, and it's like them just
Yeah.
walking
They
like
just
3
walk around the
feet.
corner,
Yeah.
like yeah.
Matt, I think Matt brought this up before the podcast, but the emblem or like the like his signal,
The guy like with the hand.
yeah,
pushing,
it's really cool.
It's
of
really
him.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I like
and
it
Matt
a lot.
brought up making shirts for it. I would totally wear a
Yeah, I
Blankman
would like
shirt.
a
That's a really
Blankman
good
shirt.
idea. But yeah, the movie ends right here when Damon Wayans, Daryl, meets Robin Givens for the first time when he's not Blankman. And he's really nervous that she's not going to like him, but she obviously knows it's him.
Mhm.
Kisses him, and he does that like, and like falls on the steps.
and then David Allen Grier goes to help him.
He's like,
He's
"Don't
like,
touch me."
Don't touch me.
We didn't. I guess we didn't mention that J5 actually they put the bombs
Oh, yeah.
into J5, and he's
Oh, that's also one of the best parts is when he's like, J5 will be down here any minute, and it's coming down the stairs, and it's just
it's
falling like,
but it's like this really intense music, and it's just like,
and it goes on forever too.
It was
It's
like all
awesome.
like I don't know how like if they had a remote control or whatever, but yeah, the falls, the different types of falls it does down the stairs.
yeah,
There's one where it's just like tumbling. There's one where it's just like sliding on its back, and it's just like.
I wouldn't be surprised if some of it was
I hope they didn't
remote
put
control.
I hope
and
they didn't
some
put
of
a
it-
person in there.
Yeah, they put a person in there. They control it.
Yeah,
They steady the fall.
yeah.
I want to say some of it's remote control when it's moving around, and I want to say some of it is them pushing it off screen.
Oh,
Because we caught one instance
they like
where,
running something.
where they're running down the hall to go get the bombs out of the bathroom.
Oh yeah,
And down at the end of the hallway, you see some guy's arm reach around the corner to stop J5.
yeah. Wow,
that's right.
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a couple of moments of
Bloopers.
bloopers. Like
Oh yeah, all the metal pipes at the end of this movie. Like when they're fighting in that factory, all the metal pipes, you can very obviously see they're all like styrofoam tubes.
Oh,
really?
Yeah,
Really?
And like they're picking them up, hitting each other with
Okay.
them. And, yeah.
yeah. There's one that where Kimberly and Blankman are on that train tracks.
Yeah.
And like the camera pans out, and you can see the camera crane like in the shadow. of it.
Oh,
right,
yeah,
you
yeah.
pointed
You
that out.
pointed that
And
out.
I was like, oh wow, like that's
Yeah.
very obvious.
But other even like the side things and everything, it's still an enjoyable movie.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, I was gonna even say like one of the best introductions to a character is when David Allen Grier is talking to his grandma, and he's like, "We're not kids anymore, we're grown-ups." And it cuts to Damon Wayans, and he's brushing his teeth with that helmet.
And it's like two toothbrushes that are like going in.
You're
his
just like staring at the mirror.
and it's like clean. Did you notice it's like it's got
Oh,
Q-tips in it? It's
I didn't
clean
notice
his
it.
ears as well.
Oh my god, it's amazing. But yeah, it ends with Robin Givens, like Robin Givens, David Allen Grier, and Damon Wayans all on this like the stoop, and they're
Yeah.
like kind of like laughing, having a good time, and that's Blankman from
Man,
1994.
and it's crazy because they really built up the Kevin character like going after the girl,
Yeah,
and then Blankman gets her. At
it's
the end.
weird how like it kind of twists around like
So-
that. But yeah, Blankman 94 has a 13 on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm gonna give it a 75. I think this is actually one of my favorite movies we've done on this podcast in a while. Like it was very refreshing to watch it and kind of going in and be like, I don't know, and then being like, oh, this is great. Like this won't be the last time I watch this.
Yeah.
Like, I want to
No,
own
no.
this. Yeah, I'm maybe even higher than 75, but right now I'll stick with the 75. I think it's like I said, it's charming, it's funny, it's got some really good storytelling elements. I like the cast. Yeah, I really don't have any complaints about this movie. So you know what? Actually, I'll bump it up to an 80. I think this is not even close to a 13%. So
Yeah.
80% for me. Honto or Matt?
Go ahead.
Matt, go ahead.
Go ahead, Honto.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, this is criminally underrated. I cannot believe that people of Rotten Tomatoes gave this a 13%.
That's
This is this is discrediting their
How many
reviews.
reviews was it out of?
I can pull it up.
Can you
on
pull that
Hunter's
up?
Talking. Yeah.
Yeah, this completely discredits Rotten Tomatoes for me, but this is like an 80%. This movie is hilarious and it's actually a good story. It makes me want to see actually kind of more movies. Like another, if they decided to ever franchise, I wish they would have made like maybe another sequel or something like that.
Bring it back.
Yeah, and it's a shame
do
that
the revival.
Do the revival.
But I think it just goes to show like how great some of the cast members splitting up from In Living Color were.
Did you watch My Wife and Kids?
No.
Yeah, that was a good show. I didn't realize that. Like, I'm assuming it's Damon Wayans' production company.
I think it is
Wife and Kids.
I think it is.
Yeah, because that's what it started off with the movie, and I was like, oh, I guarantee this is Damon Wayans' production company. But like that show was really good, and then Damon Wayans has kind of been like non-existent. He was just in like the Lethal
Weapon.
I know he does comedy. Oh, he did do Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, he did for like 3 years.
Yeah.
So he was on from beginning to end. Yeah,
he did Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
Because Bulletproof is another one of those movies that's like came out around this time. It's really cool.
Oh yeah, and if you think about it, I think this is 94. I think a couple years before this, he's like playing a serious role in Last Boy Scout. He's like an action star in Last Boy Scout, and it's like wow, the dynamic, the range between the roles.
and
it's
then
really
Major
good.
Pain is what year?
95.
95.
And then
like
I think is Mo Money. He's kind of more of a serious character.
Yeah,
isn't
it's like they do some comedy, but it gets serious in moments. In that movie.
And
But,
then just years before that, he's got that role in Beverly Hills Cop.
oh yeah, Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Yeah,
Or
Beverly Hills- first
one.
First
one.
one.
Yeah, one.
Yeah. When he sells the fruit to Axel Foley.
He gives him the bananas.
Oh, yeah.
He put
Yeah.
the banana
Okay.
on the tailpipe.
Which is awesome because I should have got it. It was a Funko doll, and it was Eddie Murphy like in the football or the jacket, and everything, and he was holding 2 bananas.
Oh really?
Yeah, I wish I
Wow.
would have got it.
The banana on the tailpipe.
But yeah, I looked at it. So 15 reviews for Rotten
okay.
Tomatoes.
Okay.
These might be like legacy reviews, like older reviews that like for the time. It's weird. I understand the negative reviews for the time because back in the day, it's like they were a lot harsher. Like nobody really gave a shit if a comedy got a bad review, and nobody really gave a shit if they gave a comedy a bad review. You know, because it was just there for fun for people to watch. So sometimes when we do comedies on this podcast, I understand why they had bad old bad reviews because comedies are you really got to base them on how they age.
Sure.
Because like but something like this I thought it's always been funny. I remember this being really funny when we were kids.
That's what I mean. I remember it being funny as kids. Like,
so I would probably give it like a 75-80% based on the fact that I would love to show this to my kids one day. As a family movie. Because there's not a lot of like gratuitous jokes in it.
Maybe just the elevator scene.
Elevator and maybe
maybe just the elevator scene.
And then maybe the way I wouldn't say the way he reacts to
getting
kissing
kissed.
her.
Yeah.
and then Grandma talking about Minnelli's dingling, how small it is. He has a serious look.
There's like, but it's not like raunchy. It's not like watching like something like There's Something About Mary. And being like,
I saw that in theaters with my family.
Did you?
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Nice. Very nice.
But yeah, I don't know. This would be a fun movie to watch with your kids one day, like
It's a good superhero movie.
Yeah, it's
it
a lot
bums
of
me
fun.
out.
It really held up.
Yeah, and it bums me out. It was a bomb.
Yeah.
Like that's very shocking because this was like Living Color was huge.
Yeah.
So I imagine like this would have been like a no-brainer. Like
I'm kind of surprised. I'm not like I feel bad because we just did the podcast, but I would love to see the history of like why this was a bomb.
I wonder if it had anything to do with James Carrey being in Ace Ventura, since it was also like same year, I think.
Yeah, I mean that was a big year. I mean there was a lot of comedies that year because he had Jim Carrey was in 3 big movies that year. So
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, but it's a shame. I think this is a solid movie.
Yes,
I think this would pair up very nicely with The Mask. Where it's 2 like superhero, like offbeat superhero movies, but like more comedic.
Yeah, The Mask didn't age very well when we covered it for the podcast.
I thought it did.
I thought that was one I was like, I remember liking that a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But at like older, I was like, this is really kind of like a weirdly toned movie.
Oh, I liked it. I thought it held up.
Kids movie for
kind
sure.
of dark.
Yeah.
Which is fine. The comics are that way.
Yeah.
But I would like we said it earlier, Mystery Men. I think this would be a good matchup with Mystery Men.
Yeah, I think they might be too similar, but at the same time, maybe I'm
But yes, they are very, very similar.
in tone for sure.
Yes.
But yeah, you heard all around. It looks like we're all giving an 80% here on Cinema Cult Network. But join us next episode as we continue Black Superhero Month, and we talk about Into the Spider-Verse from just a couple years back, not too long ago.
2017.
Yeah, sequel comes out in a couple months.
Yeah,
right?
The sequel does come out in this couple months.
I think it's a couple months. I thought it was
I think it's this year.
It's this year, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah,
I'm sorry. A couple months is like, to me, a couple is like 6 months.
Okay.
So
7 years.
don't go off of what I say, but I think it's supposed to come out this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, that would probably, I feel like that movie would probably be a good pairing with this as well, because like, I'm not to spoil how I feel about Into the Spider-Verse, but Into the Spider-Verse is very good at balancing comedy with the like, oh, this is really cool.
Yeah.
So
that would be
and there's serious moments in Spider-Verse as well, where it's like toggles between the drama and the comedy.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the second time I've watched this movie. I liked it a lot the first time.
I just watched
is it streaming somewhere
on my account.
Is it on your account? But is it on? It's Sony.
It was on Netflix for a while.
It's not Sony.
I just rewatched this movie.
Disney.
So.
I probably haven't seen it about 2 or 3 years, so it'd be a total fresh watch for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that'd be our next pick. Following Blankman, which, like I said, I don't think we can recommend enough. We absolutely love Blankman. If you haven't seen it in a while, it does hold up, I promise.
Yes.
But if you have any requests or any feedback for us whatsoever, you can hit us up on Facebook or you can email us at
cinemaclubpodcast@gmail.com. Hit us up on anchor.fm as well with a voicemail if you want to request something.
Yeah, please do. We would definitely listen to that. And thank you so much for listening to this. We love doing it. We hope you love listening to it. I'm Chris.
I'm Matt.
I'm Honto.
And we'll see you next time.